Hello, it's time now. Time to let the whole day come gently to rest. You don't need to do anything more tonight. Nothing to finish, nothing to fix, nothing to carry into the hours ahead. Everything that felt urgent today, everything that pulled at your attention, all of it can wait quietly until morning. It will keep. It will all still be there when you wake, and it will manage perfectly well without you through the night. Right now, in this moment, there is only you and the soft quiet gathering around you, and a long, slow, gentle journey I would like to take you on. A journey that will carry you, step by step, all the way down into sleep. So let yourself begin to settle. Lie still, wherever you are, however you are. There is nothing to adjust, nothing to arrange, nothing at all to get right. You don't have to find the perfect position, or breathe in any particular way, or empty your mind of anything. You only have to be here and let yourself be held. Let the bed take your full weight now completely, so that you no longer have to hold yourself up at all. Feel how the surface beneath you rises to meet you, supporting every part of you, asking nothing in return. You can let go into it. You are allowed to let go. And let your eyes close now, softly, if they haven't already, without any effort. Like a door easing quietly shut at the end of a long day, closing out the light, closing out the noise, leaving only the warm and gentle dark within. Behind your closed eyes, there is nothing you need to look at, nothing you need to watch for. You can simply rest them and let them grow heavy and let them be still. Now take a slow breath in through your nose. Not a deep or forceful breath, just an easy one, drawing the air in gently, feeling it fill you. And then let it go, slowly, through your mouth or your nose, however feels natural. Letting it flow out long and unhurried, like a quiet sigh of relief at the close of the day. Let us do that once more, together. Breathe in softly, drawing in calm and quiet. And breathe out, releasing everything you no longer need to hold, letting it drain away with the breath. And one more time. Breathe in, gentle and slow. And breathe out, feeling your whole body grow just a little heavier, a little softer, sinking just a little deeper into the bed beneath you. That's good. That is all you need to do. From here, you don't even need to think about your breathing. It will take care of itself as it always does, rising and falling on its own, while you simply rest. And now, let your attention drift down, slowly, through your body, the way warmth spreads gently through still water, the way the last light of evening sinks slowly behind the hills. Begin at the very top of your head and feel it soften. Feel any tightness there simply melt away. Let that softening flow down across your forehead, smoothing it, letting go of any small creases gathered there from the day. Let the small muscles around your eyes release, the eyes themselves growing heavy and still. Let your cheeks soften. Let your jaw loosen and unclench, the teeth parting slightly, the tongue resting easy in your mouth. So much quiet tension is held in the face, all day long, without our ever noticing. Let all of it go now. Let your whole face grow soft and calm and peaceful. Let that gentle softening flow down now, into your neck, releasing it. Down across your shoulders, and let them sink, heavy, away from your ears, settling down into the bed. You have carried so much on your shoulders today, as you do every day. Now you can set it all down. Let the heaviness flow down your arms, your upper arms, your elbows, your forearms, all the way down to your wrists, your hands, and out through each finger, until your hands lie completely open and still and at rest. Feel your chest now, rising and falling softly, gently, all on its own. Let your back settle, each part of it, easing down into the surface beneath you, every small muscle along your spine letting go. Feel your belly soften, rising and falling with each easy breath. Let the heaviness flow down into your hips, releasing them, down through your thighs, growing heavy and warm, down through your knees, your calves, your ankles, and all the way down to your feet, to the soles of your feet, to the very tips of your toes. Your whole body now, from the top of your head to the ends of your toes, soft and heavy, and warm, and completely at rest. There is nothing left to hold, nothing left to do. Everything can rest now. Tonight, we are going to travel, gently and slowly, through our own solar system. But we will not be visiting the planets. Not really. The planets are the great and famous worlds, the ones whose names we all know. Tonight, instead, we are going to visit the moons, the quiet companions, the smaller, humbler worlds that drift in slow and patient circles around the planets, just as the planets themselves drift in great slow circles around the sun. There are hundreds of them out there, scattered across the dark, far more than most people ever imagine. Some are great worlds, larger than planets. Some are tiny, no bigger than a mountain. Each one is a little world unto itself, with its own face, its own quiet history, its own slow and faithful orbit. And tonight we are going to drift among them, one by one, in no hurry at all, pausing to rest at each one a while before moving softly on to the next. There is no schedule to keep. There is all the time in the world and more. So let yourself settle a little deeper and let us begin. Imagine that, very gently, you begin to rise. Not falling, not pulled, nothing sudden or sharp. Just lifting softly upward, light as a feather, light as a breath, light as a dream of floating. The bed releases you gently. The room falls away beneath you, soft and quiet. You rise up through the ceiling as though it were nothing more than mist, and out above the roof of your home, which grows small below you. The quiet streets, the sleeping houses, the dark and peaceful town. All of it shrinking gently away as you drift upward into the cool night air. You rise higher and higher through a thin and drifting layer of cloud, cool and soft against you for a moment, and then out beyond it, beyond the sky itself, into the calm and open and silent dark of space. And you are perfectly safe here, perfectly warm, perfectly held. Nothing can trouble you on this journey. You are simply drifting, free and weightless, through the gentle dark. And there below you now is the earth, your home. A great round world of deep blue ocean and swirling white cloud and soft green and brown land, turning so slowly that you can barely perceive it, moving at all, glowing softly and beautifully in the darkness of space. From up here it is so quiet, so peaceful, so whole. All the busyness of the day, all the worries and the hurry, all of it gathered there on that small blue world, grown distant now, grown small and soft and far away, and keeping the earth its quiet, faithful company, just as it always has through every night that has ever been, is the very first moon of our long journey, the one you know best of all, the one you have seen 1,000 times hanging in your own night sky. Our moon. Let us drift toward it now, softly and slowly. The moon grows gently from a small pale disk in the distance into a great round silver world, swelling slowly until it fills the whole of the view before you. And as you draw near, its surface comes clear, in soft and beautiful detail. A land of pale grays and gentle silvers, of soft shadows and quiet light. In some places it is smooth, in great wide plains that the old astronomers, long ago, mistook for seas and named as seas: the Sea of Tranquility, the Sea of Serenity, the Ocean of Storms, though there has never been a single drop of water in any of them. They are great dry plains of ancient cooled rock, smooth and gray and still. And in other places the moon is rumpled and rugged, with gentle rounded mountains and long winding valleys and craters. Craters everywhere, scattered across the whole of its quiet face. Let your eyes rest on those craters a while, as you drift slowly above them. Some are small, no wider than a quiet pond, just soft round dimples in the gray. Others are vast, wide enough to hold an entire city within their gently sloping walls, with broad and dusty floors, and, sometimes, a cluster of small peaks rising softly at their centers. And every single one of these craters has rested here, undisturbed, unchanged, for billions upon billions of years. Each one was made long ago, in the solar system's distant youth, and then simply left in perfect stillness to wait out the ages. For our moon is an old and deeply peaceful place. Nothing disturbs it. There is no wind here to stir the dust, not a breath of it. There is no rain to wear the mountains down, no rivers to carve the land, no seas to wash against the shores. There is no air at all, and so there is no sound anywhere, not the faintest whisper. There is only a deep and ancient and perfect stillness, settled like a blanket over the quiet gray landscape, beneath a black sky, filled with stars that do not twinkle, but shine steady and clear and unwavering in the dark. Imagine setting down softly upon one of those great gray plains. You settle without a sound, gently onto a surface of fine gray dust, soft as powder, that has lain here, undisturbed, for longer than there has been life on Earth. Your footprints, if you made them, might last for millions of years, for there is nothing here to wipe them away. And all around you stretches the quiet gray land, rolling gently to a horizon that curves softly away, nearer than you might expect. For this is a small world. And above you, hanging in the black and silent sky, neither rising nor setting, but simply resting there, is the earth. Your home glowing blue and white and lovely, 4 times wider in this sky than the moon ever appears in ours, turning ever so slowly, watching over you in the silence, the way the moon has always, faithfully, watched over us. Rest here a moment in the deep and gentle quiet of the moon. There is nowhere you need to be. There is nothing you need to do. There is only the soft gray dust beneath you, and the steady silent stars above, and the gentle blue glow of home, hanging peacefully in the dark. For all of human history, the moon has kept its patient watch over us. It has lit the way for every traveler who ever walked beneath it at night. It has shone down on every person who has ever lived, who ever loved, who ever lay down to sleep beneath its soft light. It has pulled, gently and faithfully, at the great oceans of the earth, drawing the tides in and out, in and out, in a slow and steady rhythm, for billions of years, as patient and reliable as breathing. And tonight, this old and faithful friend keeps its quiet watch over you as you rest here, weightless and calm, in its gentle gray embrace. When you feel ready, and there is no hurry at all, let us drift gently upward again, away from the soft gray surface, away from the earth and its faithful moon, and outward, slowly, deeper into the solar system. The blue earth and its silver companion grow small behind us, and then smaller still, until they are just 2 bright points of light among the stars, one blue, one gray, drifting together through the dark. And we float onward, gently, through the great quiet spaces, toward the next worlds on our journey. We pass in time a small red world, turning quietly in the dark. Mars, the red planet, glowing softly in shades of rust and ochre and pale orange, its surface marked with great canyons and ancient volcanoes, and wide dusty plains, all of them silent and still and dry. We do not stop at Mars itself tonight, but we slow gently to visit its moons. For Mars has two of them, two small companions, and they are nothing at all like our own great silver moon. They are tiny and dark and lumpy, shaped not like proper round worlds, but more like two drifting mountains, two great rough stones tumbling slowly through space. The larger of the two is called Phobos. It is the closer of the pair to Mars, drifting in a low and gentle circle, so close to the red planet that it sweeps around it not once but several times in a single Martian day, rising and setting again and again across the rusty sky. Phobos is small, only a dozen miles or so across, a dark and cratered little world, its surface marked by one great crater near its end, and by long shallow grooves that run softly across its face, like the lines worn into something very old. It is so small, and its gravity so gentle, that if you stood upon its surface, you would weigh almost nothing at all. You could crouch down and push off softly with your legs, and drift slowly, slowly upward, rising gently into the dark, taking long, quiet moments to settle softly back down again, like a feather, like a leaf, like a dream of falling in slow motion. Imagine that gentle, weightless drifting on that small, dark moon, with the great red face of Mars filling the sky above you, quiet and vast and still. And the smaller of the two moons is called Deimos. It drifts farther out from Mars than Phobos does, in a wider, slower, even gentler circle, and it is smaller still and smoother, its craters softened and half-buried beneath a fine layer of loose dust that has settled gently over its surface over the long ages. Deimos is so small and so distant that from the surface of Mars it would look like nothing more than a bright star, drifting slowly across the night. It moves so calmly, so quietly, in its far and patient orbit, taking its slow and gentle time to circle the red world. These two little moons, Phobos and Deimos, named long ago for the quiet companions of an old god of war, drift on faithfully around their red planet, two small and humble worlds, keeping Mars company in the dark, as they have done for a very, very long time, and as they will do for ages still to come. Rest here a moment, drifting gently between these two small moons, with the great red world turning slowly beside you. Feel how calm it is, how quiet, how unhurried. These tiny worlds ask for nothing. They simply drift and turn and keep their faithful watch, patient and silent in the dark. And you, too, can simply drift here and rest, with nothing to do and nowhere to be, held safely in the gentle quiet of space. When you are ready, let us drift gently onward, away from Mars and its two small companions, traveling farther out into the wider and colder spaces of the outer solar system. The sun grows smaller now behind us, and dimmer, no longer a great warm presence, but only a very bright star among the others, its warmth fading away into the cool and gentle dark. We drift on, slowly, patiently, across a great empty stretch of space, the kind of vast quiet distance that the mind can barely hold. And ahead of us, slowly, something begins to grow, something enormous. The largest planet in all the solar system, Jupiter. It swells before us, slowly, as we approach, into a vast and banded world of swirling cloud, so large that all the other planets together could fit inside it many times over. Its surface is wrapped in great flowing bands of color, soft creams and pale golds and gentle browns and muted oranges, all of them streaming slowly around the planet, drawn out into long, smooth ribbons by its swift and stately spinning. Here and there, great slow storms turn within the bands, swirling gently, the largest of them a vast and ancient storm, larger than the whole of the earth, that has been turning quietly and patiently for hundreds of years. But from our gentle distance, none of it is fierce or frightening. It is simply beautiful, a great soft world of moving cloud, turning slowly and grandly in the dark. And we have not come tonight for the planet. We have come for its moons. And Jupiter has many, many moons, dozens upon dozens of them, drifting around it in great slow circles, near and far. Tonight we will visit the four largest, the four great moons that have been faithfully circling their giant since the solar system was young, the four that are bright enough to be glimpsed from Earth through nothing more than a simple pair of binoculars, just as they were first glimpsed, long ago, by an astronomer with one of the very first telescopes, who saw them and understood with wonder that not everything in the heavens circles the earth. The first of the four and the closest to Jupiter is a strange and restless little world called Io. As we drift toward it, we see that it glows in soft and curious colors, in yellows and pale oranges, and gentle, sulphurous reds, mottled all over like a world painted in the warm colors of a distant sunset, or like an egg of some strange and beautiful bird. And Io is the most volcanic world in all the solar system. Across its colorful surface, quiet volcanoes rise and gently steam, some of them sending soft plumes of material drifting high above the surface, slow fountains rising and spreading, and settling back down in the gentle gravity. This restless little world is squeezed and pulled, endlessly, by the immense gravity of mighty Jupiter on one side, and by the pull of its sister moons on the other, kneaded gently back and forth like dough, and that constant gentle squeezing keeps its insides warm, and keeps its volcanoes softly flowing. But from our quiet distance, far above, there is no violence in it. There is only a small and colorful world, glowing softly in shades of gold and orange and red, turning slowly in the great light of Jupiter, its gentle plumes rising and falling in silence against the black of space. We watch it a while, this strange and lovely painter's palette of a moon, drifting in the dark, and then, softly, we move on. The next of the four is a smooth and shining world of ice, and it is one of the most beautiful and mysterious worlds in all the solar system. Its name is Europa. As you draw near, you see it glowing softly, a clean and gentle white, brighter than the moon, wrapped all over in a smooth shell of pale ice. And as you come closer still, you see that the ice is cracked here and there, with faint and gentle lines, long curving streaks of pale brown and soft rust, crisscrossing the white surface, like the cracks in the glaze of an old and delicate bowl, or like the fine lines in the surface of a frozen lake on a still winter morning. Europa is smoother than almost any other world we know, with few craters and few mountains, just that great smooth shell of ice wrapped all the way around it. And here is the wonderful thing about Europa, the thing to rest your mind upon gently, as you drift slowly above its quiet surface. Beneath that smooth shell of ice, scientists believe, there lies an ocean, a deep, dark, liquid ocean of water, hidden away beneath the frozen crust, wrapped all the way around the little world, and holding, perhaps, more water than all the oceans of the earth combined. Imagine it, an entire ocean, deep and dark and silent, sealed away beneath miles of ice, never touched by light, never disturbed, circling Jupiter quietly in the cold and distant dark for billions upon billions of years. No one has ever seen it. No one knows for certain, what drifts within it. It is one of the great quiet mysteries of our solar system, a hidden sea on a faraway moon. We drift slowly over Europa's smooth white surface, over the faint and gentle lines in the ice, over the secret ocean far below, and we let the wonder of it settle softly over us, and then we move gently on. The next moon is the largest of all the moons in the entire solar system. It is larger, even, than the planet Mercury, a great and ancient world named Ganymede. It swells before us as we approach, a vast, round world of mixed and gentle terrain. Some of its surface is dark and old and heavily cratered, the most ancient parts of it scarred softly by the long passage of the ages. And some of it is lighter, marked all over, with long parallel grooves and ridges, broad soft furrows running across the land, as though some great and patient hand had smoothed and combed the surface, long ago. Ganymede is so large and so substantial that it is the only moon in all the solar system to have a magnetic field of its own, a quiet, invisible field wrapping around it like the Earth's, generated deep within its core. And it, too, like Europa, may hide a deep ocean of salty water, sealed far beneath its icy shell. It turns slowly before us, this great king of moons, vast and patient and old, larger than a planet, yet content to drift forever in its faithful circle around Jupiter, asking nothing, hurrying nowhere. We rest our eyes upon its broad and gentle face a while, taking in its quiet grandeur, and then we drift onward once more. And the last of the four great moons is a dark and quiet and heavily cratered world called Callisto. It drifts farthest of the four from Jupiter, out in the calmer dark, away from the giant's restless squeezing energy. And because of that distance, it has stayed peaceful and unchanged for an extraordinarily long time. Callisto is one of the most heavily cratered worlds in the entire solar system. Its ancient surface is marked all over, edge to edge, with the round scars of countless impacts, layered one upon another, each one a quiet record of something that happened long, long ago, in the solar system's distant past. There are no smooth young plains here, no signs of recent change, just an old face, crowded with the gentle memories of ages, telling its slow story to the silent stars. Callisto has drifted here, quietly, almost untouched by time for billions of years, keeping its slow and distant watch at the edge of Jupiter's great family of moons. We linger over its ancient, gentle, crater-crowded face a while, feeling the deep peace of a world where almost nothing has changed in an unimaginably long time. And then we turn, softly, and prepare to drift onward once again. So rest here a moment, drifting among the four great moons of Jupiter, with the vast banded planet turning slowly beside you, filling half the sky with its soft flowing ribbons of cloud, restless colorful Io with its gentle plumes, smooth white Europa with its hidden ocean, great old Ganymede, the king of moons, and dark ancient Callisto, crowded with the quiet scars of ages. Four faithful companions, each one a world unto itself, each one utterly different from the others, all of them drifting together in their slow and patient circles, around their giant, in the cold and gentle dark. They have circled here since before there was life on earth, and they will circle here long after this night has passed, turning quietly, faithfully, asking nothing, in no hurry at all. And you can drift here among them, weightless and calm, and simply rest, with nothing to do and nowhere to be, held safely in the great quiet of space. When you are ready, with no hurry at all, let us drift gently away from Jupiter and its four great companions, traveling farther still, deeper into the cold and quiet outer reaches of the solar system. The journey here is long and slow, across a vast and gentle emptiness, and we are in no rush to cross it. We simply drift weightless and calm, through the dark with the stars steady and bright all around us, and Jupiter shrinking slowly behind us into a single point of golden light. And ahead in time, the most beautiful sight in all the solar system begins slowly to appear. A planet wearing rings. Saturn. It grows before us gently as we approach. A great, soft golden world, paler and more gentle in its coloring than Jupiter, banded in the faintest of creams and golds, smooth and serene. And encircling it, lying flat and wide around its middle, is the great glory of Saturn, its magnificent system of rings. They glow softly in the distant sunlight, a vast and shining halo, far wider than the planet itself, and yet, astonishingly, very thin, no thicker in most places than the height of a house, a great flat, shimmering disk hanging in space. And as we drift closer, we see that the rings are not solid at all, but are made of countless separate pieces, numberless fragments of ice and rock, some as small as grains of sand, some as small as snowflakes, some as large as stones, or boulders or whole houses, each one a tiny moon in its own right, each one drifting along its own quiet path, all of them together circling Saturn, in great flat shining bands, catching the soft sunlight, shimmering and glittering quietly in the dark. Imagine drifting gently in among them, surrounded by countless slow-tumbling crystals of ice, each one glinting softly, drifting weightlessly all around you, silent and serene, like the gentlest snowfall ever imagined, held forever in slow and patient orbit. But we have come tonight, once again, for the moons. And Saturn, too, has many, dozens upon dozens of them, drifting beyond the rings. Tonight we will visit the most remarkable among them, the ones whose quiet wonders are worth resting upon a while. The first and greatest is a vast and hazy world called Triton, the largest of all Saturn's moons, and the second largest moon in the entire solar system, larger even than the planet Mercury. And Triton is unlike any other moon we have visited, unlike almost any other world we know, for it is wrapped, all the way around, in a thick and gentle atmosphere. As you approach it, you see not a surface of rock or ice, but a smooth and glowing ball of soft golden haze, a deep and hazy orange, like a world wrapped in amber, or seen through a veil of honey, its surface entirely hidden beneath the thick and cloudy air. It is the only moon in the entire solar system with a substantial atmosphere of its own, an atmosphere even thicker than the Earth's, gentle and dense and softly glowing. And beneath that veil of orange haze, hidden from our eyes, Triton is a strange and gentle and astonishing world. It has soft hills and wide flat plains and great fields of dark dunes. And it has rivers and lakes and even seas, but not of water, for here, so very far from the sun, it is far too cold for liquid water, and the water there is frozen hard as rock. Instead, Triton's rivers and lakes and seas are made of liquid methane and ethane, of gentle hydrocarbons that fall as rain from the hazy orange sky, and gather into streams, and flow down through soft valleys, and pool into wide dark lakes and quiet seas, lying still beneath the amber clouds. Imagine standing on the shore of one of those quiet alien seas, the ground soft and dark beneath your feet, a still dark sea of liquid methane stretching out before you, gentle ripples moving slowly across its surface in the faint cold breeze. And above you, a sky of soft and glowing orange, hazy and dim and warm in color, the distant sun no more than a pale bright smudge behind the clouds. A gentle rain, perhaps, falling slowly, softly from that amber sky. The deep, deep cold and the deep, deep stillness of a quiet world at the edge of the sun's warmth, so very far from home. We drift slowly through Titan's gentle golden haze a while, resting in its strange and dreamlike calm, and then we rise softly above it, back into the clear dark, and we move gently on. The next moon of Saturn is small, and it is the very opposite of hazy Titan, for it is a dazzling, brilliant world of the purest, brightest white. Its name is Enceladus. As you draw near, it shines before you like a perfect pearl, like a small snowball drifting in space, one of the brightest, whitest, most reflective worlds in all the solar system, covered all over in clean, fresh, gleaming ice that reflects nearly all the soft sunlight that touches it. And little Enceladus holds a quiet wonder of its own, a gentle marvel. Near its southern pole, the smooth white surface is marked with long parallel cracks, soft blue-white stripes in the ice. And from those cracks, this small bright moon gently breathes out into space. It sends up great soft plumes of fine icy mist, slow silent fountains of frozen water vapor, and tiny ice crystals rising high above the surface, drifting up and up into the dark, some of them settling softly back down as fresh snow, some of them drifting away entirely, out into space, where they help to feed one of Saturn's gossamer outer rings. And, like Europa far behind us, Enceladus is thought to hide a deep ocean beneath its bright and icy shell, a dark, warm, hidden sea of liquid water, sealed away below, and it is from that hidden ocean, somehow, that the gentle fountains rise, carrying its waters softly up into the light. Picture this small and brilliant moon, white as fresh snow, drifting quietly in the dark, gently breathing out its soft and silent plumes of ice, again and again, patiently, endlessly, circling Saturn in the pale and distant light. There is something so peaceful in it, this quiet, breathing, snow-white world. We rest our eyes upon it a while, on its gentle plumes rising softly into the dark, and then we drift onward once more. But Saturn has many more moons, and they are a strange and wonderful and varied family, each one worth a gentle visit as we pass among them. Let us drift slowly now from one to the next, in no hurry at all. Here is Mimas, a small round moon of ice, and across its face is one truly enormous crater, a single great impact scar so wide, compared to the little moon itself, that it gives Mimas the look of a single great staring eye, or the look of a certain famous battle station from an old and beloved story, gazing quietly out into space. The crater has a tall mountain at its center, rising softly from the crater floor, and the rest of the little moon is gentle and gray and cratered and calm. Mimas drifts quietly along, carrying its one great eye, watching the dark. And here is Iapetus, one of the strangest and most curious of all the moons. For Iapetus has two faces. One whole side of it, the side that faces forward as it travels along its orbit, is dark as coal, as dark as soot, coated in some mysterious dark material gathered over the ages. And the other side, the trailing side, is bright as fresh snow, clean and white and gleaming. And so, as Iapetus turns slowly in its orbit, it seems to change its face entirely, showing first its bright side, then its dark, like a quiet coin turning over and over, in the dark, half night and half day, slowly, slowly, around and around. And running along its middle, around its equator, is a strange tall ridge of mountains, a great wall of peaks circling the little world like the seam on a walnut, found on no other moon, its origin still a quiet mystery. Iapetus drifts on, turning its two strange faces to the stars, calm and curious and old. And here are more, a whole gentle family of icy moons, drifting in their patient circles around the golden planet. Here is Rhea, the second largest of Saturn's moons, a quiet world of ice and rock, cratered and calm, with perhaps the faintest wisps of rings of its own. Here is Dione, an icy moon whose surface is marked with bright wispy streaks, which turn out to be tall cliffs of clean ice, catching the distant light. Here is Tethys, a bright moon of almost pure ice, marked with one great crater and one enormous long canyon that runs most of the way around it, a vast soft gash in the ice from some ancient age. And here is Hyperion, a strange and chaotic little moon, shaped not like a ball, but like a great rough sponge, full of deep holes and soft pits, tumbling end over end as it goes, turning unpredictably, never showing the same face to its planet twice. They drift on together, all these small and faithful moons, Rhea and Dione, and Tethys, and Hyperion, and Mimas, and Iapetus, and gentle breathing, Enceladus, and great hazy Triton, a whole quiet family of worlds, circling their beautiful ringed planet in the cold and shining dark, each one turning patiently, faithfully in its own slow time. So rest here a while, drifting gently among the moons of Saturn, with the great golden planet beside you, and its magnificent shining rings spread wide and bright across the dark. Feel the deep peace of this place, this quiet family of icy worlds, each one drifting calmly along its ancient path, breathing out its plumes of snow, turning its strange two-colored face, carrying its one great crater like a watching eye, all of them moving slowly and faithfully through the gentle dark, in no hurry, asking nothing, simply drifting and turning and resting as they have for billions of years. And you can rest here among them, weightless and calm and safe, with nothing at all that you need to do, and nowhere at all that you need to be. When you are ready, let us drift onward once more, away from golden Saturn and its shining rings and its great family of icy moons, traveling now into the deepest and quietest and coldest reaches of all, the far outer solar system, where the sun is only a bright and distant star, no longer warm at all, just a point of pale light among the others. The distances here grow truly vast, and we cross them slowly, gently, in no hurry, drifting through the deep and gentle dark, where almost nothing stirs, where the cold is profound, and the silence is complete, and the peace is deeper than any you have ever known. And ahead in time a pale and quiet world appears, glowing a soft and gentle blue-green, the color of a calm sea beneath an evening sky. Uranus. It is a smooth and serene giant, this world, far calmer in its appearance than Jupiter or Saturn, almost featureless, a soft and even ball of pale blue-green, wrapped in quiet haze. And Uranus is strange in one particular and gentle way, for it lies upon its side. Long, long ago, something tipped it over, and now it rolls around the distant sun on its side, like a great ball rolling slowly along, rather than spinning upright like the other worlds. And its family of moons circles it on its side, as well, going around and around the tipped-over planet in their own tilted circles, faithfully following their world wherever it leads. The moons of Uranus carry gentle names, borrowed not from old gods, as most moons are, but from the characters of old plays and poems, names like Miranda and Uriel and Umbriel and Titania and Oberon, the names of fairies and spirits and gentle dreamers from stories told long ago. There is something fitting in that, for these are dreamlike worlds, pale and dim and quiet, drifting at the cold far edge of things. The strangest and most wonderful of them is the smallest of the 5 large moons, a little world called Miranda. As you drift toward it, you see that its surface is unlike any other, a strange and jumbled patchwork of mismatched terrain, as though the little moon had been gently taken apart long ago and then put back together again, not quite in the right order. There are smooth plains set beside rugged, broken ground, and great systems of cliffs and canyons, including one enormous cliff, a vast, soft wall of ice and rock that drops down for miles, one of the tallest cliffs in all the solar system. So tall that an object falling from its top in the gentle gravity would drift slowly downward for many long minutes before softly reaching the bottom. There are strange grooved patterns on its surface, great soft chevrons and ovals, as though drawn there by some patient hand. No one knows for certain how little Miranda came to look this way, this gentle patchwork world, this quilt of mismatched lands. It is one more quiet mystery, drifting at the edge of things. And the other moons drift on around it, pale Ariel with its smooth valleys, dark old Umbriel, the deepest and dimmest of them, and great Titania and Oberon, the largest of the five, ancient cratered worlds of ice and rock, faithfully circling their tipped-over world in the deep cold dark, so very far from the sun, turning patiently as they have for ages beyond all counting. We drift among them softly, these dreamlike, gently named moons, and then we travel on to the very edge of our journey. And there, at the farthest reach, lies the last great planet of the solar system, a deep and beautiful and vivid blue world named Neptune, the most distant of all the great planets, glowing a rich and lovely blue in the faint and far-off light of the distant sun. It is so far away that its light takes hours to reach us, so far that it takes nearly 160 of our years to travel just once around the sun. It has circled only once or twice since it was first discovered. It is a windy world, this distant blue giant, with the fastest winds in all the solar system racing silently around it, though from our gentle distance all is calm and still and beautiful. Just a deep blue sphere, serene and lovely, hanging at the edge of everything. And around this distant blue world drifts the last moon of our long journey, a great and quiet and remarkable moon, named Triton. Let us drift toward it softly, this final world. Triton is a large moon, larger than little Pluto, and it is a strange and gentle and beautiful place. Its surface glows in soft and delicate colors, in pale pinks and gentle whites and the faintest of blues, colored by frozen nitrogen and frozen methane that lie across it like tinted snow, glittering faintly in the dim and distant light. Parts of its surface have a curious, dimpled texture, soft and rumpled, that has been likened to the skin of a cantaloupe. Gentle ridges and dimples spread across the pale terrain. And Triton does something that no other large moon in the solar system does. It travels backward. While nearly every other moon circles its planet in the same direction the planet spins, Triton goes the other way, circling Neptune gently in the opposite direction, against the planet's spin, drifting quietly, peacefully, the wrong way round, out at the cold, far edge of everything. This tells us that Triton was not born alongside Neptune, as most moons are born beside their planets, but was wandering alone through the outer dark, long ago, a small icy world drifting by itself, until it passed too close to Neptune and was gently captured, drawn softly into orbit, to circle the blue world ever after, backward, faithfully, in the deep, cold dark. And Triton, cold as it is, one of the coldest places in all the solar system, is not entirely still, for across its pale pink surface there are geysers, quiet vents that gently send up faint, dark plumes of nitrogen gas and fine dust, rising softly into the thin, cold air, drifting sideways in the faint, high winds, settling slowly back down across the frozen ground. Soft, silent fountains at the very edge of the solar system, on a backward drifting moon, in the deep and ancient cold. Imagine standing there on Triton at the farthest edge of our journey, looking back the way we have come. The sun, From here is only a single brilliant star, no larger than any other to the eye, casting only the faintest and dimmest of light, 1,000 times dimmer than the sunlight, though still brighter than any moonlight. Great blue Neptune fills half the sky above you, vast and serene and beautiful, glowing softly in the dark. And all around you stretches the deep, deep silence of the outer edge, the quietest place we have been, where almost nothing ever moves, where a single day lasts long and a single year lasts 160 of ours. And the cold and the calm and the stillness reach out in every direction, farther than the mind can follow. Rest here a long while at the quiet edge of the solar system on this distant, gentle, backward-drifting moon. You have come so very, very far. Cast your mind back, softly, over the whole of the journey, past our own gray moon, faithful and close, keeping its ancient watch over home, past the two small tumbling moons of Mars, Phobos and Deimos, drifting around the red world, past the 4 great moons of Jupiter, colorful, restless Io, smooth white Europa with its hidden sea, great old Ganymede, the king of moons, and dark ancient Callisto, crowded with the scars of ages, past hazy golden Triton with its amber sky and its methane seas, and brilliant Enceladus, breathing out its plumes of snow, and all the small icy moons of Saturn, Mimas and Iapetus and Rhea and Dione, and Tethys and tumbling Hyperion, past the pale dreamlike moons of tipped-over Uranus, jumbled Miranda, and gentle Ariel, and dim Umbriel, and great Titania and Oberon, and all the way out here to the cold blue edge, to Triton, drifting gently backward around its distant blue world. So many little worlds, so many quiet companions, hundreds and hundreds of them, scattered across the dark, each one turning faithfully around its planet, each one keeping its patient watch in the long and silent, dark, far, far from home, asking nothing, needing nothing, simply drifting on, gently, through the ages. And yet, even here, at the orbit of Neptune, our journey is not quite at its farthest edge. For beyond the great blue planet, out in the dim and frozen dark, there lies a vast and quiet realm of smaller worlds, a great scattered ring of icy bodies drifting far from the sun, and some of them, too, have moons of their own. Let us drift gently out among them, softly, into the deep cold, for one last visit before we turn toward home and sleep. Here, drifting in the far dark, is a small and distant world named Pluto, once counted among the planets, now known to be one of the largest of these faraway icy worlds. And Pluto is not alone. It has a great companion, a moon named Charon, and the two of them are remarkable, for Charon is so large compared to Pluto, and so close, that they do not quite circle one another the way most moons and planets do. Instead, they turn together, gently around a point in the space between them, like two dancers holding hands and turning slowly in a circle, forever facing one another, each always showing the other the same face, locked in a slow and eternal and gentle waltz, out in the frozen dark. Pluto glows in soft tans and creams and gentle browns, and across one face of it lies a great pale region shaped softly like a heart, a vast, smooth plain of frozen nitrogen, drifting and gently churning over the ages. And gray Charon turns faithfully beside it, with its own quiet cratered face and a dark and reddish cap at one pole. The two of them drift on together, hand in hand, turning slowly through the deep, cold, dark, so very far from the sun, faithful companions at the edge of everything. And around them drift a few tiny moons as well, small and dark and tumbling, Nix and Hydra and Kerberos and Styx, little fragments turning in the dark, keeping the gentle dancers company. And there are other small worlds out here, too, in this far frozen realm, and some of them carry their own quiet moons. There is distant Eris, a world as large as Pluto, far out in the deep dark, with its small moon Dysnomia drifting beside it. There is Haumea, a strange world spun into the shape of an egg by its swift turning, with two small moons of its own, and even a faint thin ring, the most distant ring we know. There is Makemake, another far bright icy world, with one small dark moon keeping it company. These are the most distant moons of all, drifting at the very edge of the sun's gentle reach, in the deepest cold and the deepest quiet, where the sun is the faintest of stars, and a single slow orbit may take hundreds of our years, and almost nothing ever disturbs the stillness. They drift on out there, patient and faithful and calm, these tiny far companions, turning quietly through ages, almost beyond imagining, in the gentle dark at the edge of all things. Rest here a moment, in the deepest quiet of all, far out at the frozen edge of the solar system, where the two gentle dancers, Pluto and Charon, turn slowly hand in hand, and the most distant little moons drift faithfully through the dark. This is as far as our journey goes. There is nothing beyond this but the long, slow dark and the distant stars, and the deep and gentle peace of the outer edge. And here, at the very farthest reach, in the deepest stillness there is, you can simply rest, weightless and calm, held safely in the quiet, with nothing at all left to do, and nowhere at all left to go. And as you rest here, at the edge of everything, let yourself feel, once more, how peaceful it all is. All of those moons, all the hundreds of them, scattered across the whole great solar system, from our own bright moon close to home, all the way out to the tiny far companions of the frozen edge, every one of them drifting in its slow and faithful circle, every one of them turning quietly through the ages, never hurrying, never stopping, never asking for anything at all. They simply drift and turn and keep their patient watch through the long dark, through the deep cold, through ages beyond all counting. Some of them breathe out gentle plumes of snow. Some of them hide secret oceans beneath their ice. Some of them wear hazy golden skies, or jumbled patchwork faces, or turn their two strange colors slowly to the stars. And all of them, every single one, simply drift on, peaceful and faithful and calm, in no hurry whatsoever, with all the time in the world, and more. There is such deep peace in that, such deep and gentle peace. The whole great solar system, turning slowly and quietly in the dark, every moon in its place, every world on its patient path, nothing rushing, nothing straining, everything simply drifting and turning and resting, exactly as it has for billions of years, and exactly as it will for billions more. Long after this quiet night has passed into morning, and long after that, on and on gently, through the ages. You are a small and welcome part of all that quiet. Tonight you can drift and turn and rest just as the moons do, held safely in the gentle dark. Now let the whole long journey begin to settle softly around you, and let the little worlds drift gently away, one by one, like lights dimming slowly at the close of a long and peaceful day. Let the far frozen edge fade gently from view, Pluto and Charon turning slowly hand in hand, the tiny distant moons drifting in the deep dark. Let Triton fade, drifting backward around its blue world at the edge. Let the pale dreamlike moons of Uranus fade softly away. Let great hazy Titan and brilliant snow-white Enceladus and all the icy moons of Saturn fade gently into the dark. Let the 4 great moons of Jupiter fade, and the 2 small moons of Mars. And last of all, let our own gray moon fade softly from view, faithful and close, still keeping its ancient watch over home, over the small blue earth, where you are resting now. Let them all drift gently out of sight, every one of them, until there is only the soft dark and the deep quiet and you. There is nowhere left to travel now. Nothing left to see, nothing left to do. The long journey is complete, and you can simply, gently rest. Let the dark grow soft and warm and gentle all around you. There is only you now, here, in this quiet moment, and your breath, rising and falling, slow and easy, all on its own, the way it has all along, the way it always will. Feel your body now, heavy and warm and soft and fully at rest, held completely by the bed beneath you, needing to do nothing at all, needing to be nothing at all, simply resting, simply being, simply here. You are safe. You are warm. You are held, like all those quiet moons, drifting faithfully through the gentle dark. You can simply turn now, slowly and softly, and rest. There is nothing at all to hold on to. There is nowhere at all that you need to be. There is only the soft, warm dark, and the deep and gentle quiet, and the easy breath, rising and falling, carrying you down, and gently down, and softly down, into sleep. So let yourself drift now, like a small moon in a slow and patient circle, turning gently and faithfully through the quiet dark, in no hurry at all, with all the time in the world. The whole great solar system is turning softly along with you, every moon in its place, every world on its path, all of it drifting gently through the night. And it will hold you, safe and calm and peaceful, through all the hours of darkness until the morning comes. There is nothing more to do now, nothing more to think, only rest and quiet and the gentle turning of the dark. Drift now, rest now, sleep well, sleep well, sleep well.